Okay, guys, are we ready? Can we hear me? All right, got my handy dandy clicker, and I think we are ready to go. Well, I'm glad to see everybody that came out to find out about finding your fortune. Who wants to make a fortune? Yes? Yes? Everybody. For this class, it's mandatory, all the hands go up. Who wants to make a fortune?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to tell you the secret that I've discovered in how to make a fortune in Scentsy. Let me tell you a little bit about it. My wife is a superstar consultant. We've been in not quite 7 years now. I'll do some bragging on her. You can go visit Sceret Gibson, and she will teach you how to recruit. All right? What Sceret probably won't tell you, so this will be the husband getting to brag a little bit. All right? Sherry's in the top 10 in the history of the company all time for PRV. Several years we've been #1 in the country, particularly before the internet sales came. So this is how our Scentsy story started. My mother had it. So, oh, what a neat idea. We like that idea. Didn't know how to find anything. Couldn't find it. Not a sticker on anything. Didn't know how to find them. So Mother's Day rolls around. My wife gets one for her Christmas, for Mother's Day present. We go, what a neat idea. We need some more wax. Hey, can you find that lady? We said, sure, we can find her. So my mom goes digging around in her old email box and archives and finds the email of the consultant. They look at it and they go, what a great idea. Everybody we know is getting Scentsy for Christmas. I'm a lawyer by trade, and all of my firm clients are going to get Scentsy for Christmas. That's going to be the giveaways. So custom gifts, and I was there 7 years ago with custom gifts, okay? So all of a sudden, that's a $10,000 order. Man, the upline starts calling. Boy, what are you doing? We hadn't done a thing with Scentsy. Not a thing. All we did was personal sales. That's all we were doing. Now, so I hear that they started another one of their ventures, as you women are like to do, often without our consent or knowledge. And so I go, what's this deal you guys got into? Well, it's $99 to get into. All right, how much do you make? Well, we make 20% to start off. I said, were you ladies planning on spending $500 on this stuff? And they go, huh? I think they thought I forgot a 0 or 2 in that $500. And so I said, yeah, 20% of 500, make your $100 back. Is that what you were going to do? He said, yeah, this is how much we were going to save you at the saving, right? Go to the sale, come home, show me the receipt. This is how much I saved you today, spending at the sale. So I'm thinking, okay, the two of them have got together, they're off on another one of their ventures, and away they go. Well, suddenly, we couldn't find how to get more. Couldn't find how to sign up, except for happened to save an email in an archive. Now, I'll tell you, we've never met our sponsor, never talked to our sponsor, couldn't pick our sponsor out of a lineup of one. Okay? She's been a director for a lot of years, based upon our team volume. We've never met her. Couldn't tell her out of her. You know, and I was thinking about that earlier when we were hearing this story about Amy. Right? And you know what resonated me about Amy? How did they know to find you? If she didn't happen to be a Starbucks lover, and I love coffee, but I don't like standing in line to listen to somebody going, I want my double cream venti, latte, mocha doodle, whatever coffee. I walk in and say, I want a large decaf coffee. They look at me like I'm stupid. What if she didn't like Starbucks? She would never have met Amy. So what resonated with me about that is this about finding your fortune. I've got a secret, and it's how to find Amy without liking Starbucks. Who in this room wants to make $1,000 a month? Everybody wants to make $1,000 a month. Who wants to make $10,000 a month? Who expects to make $100,000 a month?
Persistence.
Forever time? Anytime? Ever? Who expects to make $100,000 a month? You can do it. Yes, you can. All right. We got some special prizes just for you. Can you catch? They may bounce. That's okay. They may drop too. Oh, it was the ricochet shot. It was the bounce shot. I saw more than one hand, so I'm getting better at that. Who else wants to make $100,000 in a month? Oh, I'm getting good at that bounce shot now. Anybody else want to make $100,000 in a month? We were close. Anybody else? All right. Hey, it only took us 10 chances to try it. I got a secret how to make $100,000 a month. You do not have to be smarter to do this. You do not have to be a better educated. You don't have to be the best looking person. You don't have to have an upline. You don't have to have the best sponsor. You don't have to have the best director or superstar director. You don't have to live in a large town. You don't have to have the best product in the world. You do, but you don't have to. And it doesn't matter where you live. You want to know what my secret is? Yeah. The secret of how to do it is follow up. One of the all-time legends, Jim Rohn, coined this saying years ago. I'll not take credit for it. The fortune is in the follow-up. What does that mean? It is how to follow up and find Amy. How to take random people that you run into in your everyday life and follow up with them. How to follow up with guests at a party. And when you start off and you have your launch party, you're going to know most of the people that are there. But as soon as you start branching out that next generation party, you're going to know less. The next generation, you're going to know less. You're going to start going to parties where you don't know anybody. You're going to go to parties where you've met one person, and that was the person who agreed to host it for you. How are you going to take those guests and convert them into your business? What are you going to do? You've got to learn the magic art to follow up. And I'll tell you one guarantee while I'm here. If you don't follow up, someone else will make your fortune. They call this network marketing. And doing the parties, those are fun. That's a lot of fun to do a party. It's fun to do an event. Not necessarily the carrying, setting up, breaking down. That's not quite so fun. But the events themselves are fun, right? They call it network marketing, emphasis on work. You've got to put some elbow grease into it. If you notice on all these slides, what you will see is a rainbow. There's a pot of gold at that end of the rainbow. Well, what comes with every rainbow? There's been a storm. It's rained. So that out of the storm clouds of some more, the pot of gold will come at the end. If you've got dreams to make money, I don't care whether it's $100 a month, $10,000 a month, or $100,000 a month, your dreams won't work if you don't. Dreams without effort are just wishes. They're pipe dreams. Think of it as this. The party is not over until you have booked your next party. Until you have managed to work through and have some of those party guests book the next party for you, that party's not done. That party might not be over for 6 months, but that party's not done. They haven't shut off the lights, kicked you out of the bar. The party's not over. My dad used to tell me the job's not done till the tools are put away. That resonated. Women, I think it's like this. Dinner's not done till the dishes are done. Now, I'm bad. I have to do the cooking at my house. I'm glad they came up with the roulette. That video resonated with me. I like that. That's easy to clean, but it's not done till the dishes are washed. This is not about instant sealing a deal. This is not the low-level fruit of you walking up to somebody and say, "Would you like to join this business opportunity with me?" And they go, "Of course I would." How many times does that happen? Anybody ever have that happen to them? Even once? Somebody just walk up to you and say, "I want to join this business." Anybody been in an event, at a booth, at a show, and they've said, "I want to do this"? Now that has happened. But I've never been wearing my Scentsy apparel and somebody walk up to me and go, "I want to do it." Now, I've had people call from the car decal and say, "What is this business? I want to do it." But that's pretty rare. That's the very low-level fruit. When God made an apple tree, He only put so many apples on the very bottom. He put lots of apples higher up in the tree. And that's what you've got to learn. You've got to build a ladder to get that fruit up to the very top. All right? That's what we're going to do. So when we're talking about an apple tree, anybody remember the movie Good Will Hunting? All right. Guys, can we see the Goodwill Hunting clip for a second? Now, Goodwill Hunting, this guy is a genius, and he's at Harvard, MIT, I forget. He's in a bar, and he's giving everybody a hard time about how smart everybody else is. And there's a guy in the bar, and he's that Harvard grad, and he's thinking he's the smartest guy there. And here's this janitor, genius, who comes up, and they're talking about this economic stuff that is just crazy. Can we start the clip? He's in the bar, and he's just got done berating this guy that thinks he's super smart. And this is what happens next.
You're an idiot. What? You're an idiot. I've been sitting over there for 45 minutes waiting for you to come and talk to me. But I'm tired now and I have to go home. And I couldn't sit there anymore waiting for you.
I'm well.
Skylar. Oh, by the way, that guy over there, Michael Bolton. He hasn't seen with us, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I kind of got that impression.
Okay, well, I've got to go. Gotta get up early and waste some more money on my overpriced education.
No, I didn't mean you.
That's right. There's my number. So maybe we can go out for coffee sometime.
All right, yeah, well, maybe we can just get together and eat a bunch of carols.
What do you mean?
When you think about it, it says arbitrary just drinking coffee.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right then.
Trip. I should have picked up the bitch's ass. Do you like apples?
Yeah.
I got a number. How do you like them apples?
How do you like those apples? Now, you know, in a younger man, I can resonate with that. Right? That's what us guys have to do. We're trying to get you girls' phone numbers. Why? Because we want to ask you out later. We may not be asking you out right then. We may not be recruiting you right then. We want to get your number. That, you know, this is when they talk about Jenny 7546309. I'm not going to try to sing because I got a lousy voice. That resonated with me. Why? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get information so we can follow up with you later. Why are you supposed to follow up? You heard Jason earlier talk about the survey of top individuals. You know what that survey result is? One of those consistent behaviors, a core necessary behavior to grow your business. It's following up. You know, you have to be a gardener and plant those seeds. When he told the story today about the lady who worked the first 6 months recruiting, and suddenly in the second 6 months, then suddenly the apples started falling from the tree and she got 10 recruits. That's exactly what we're talking about. This is not an instant gratification process. Lots of times we get into this business because we want to make money. But if you want to make real money, if you want to grow your business, treat it as a business, make it a business, you've got to have a longer range process than that. You've got to think, I'm going to plant seeds today, and those flowers are going to bloom in 6 months. They're going to bloom in a year. They're going to bloom in 2 years. That's the mindset of follow-up. It is not one and done selling. If you go into this and you think that I can just talk to somebody one time, and if they don't sign up, if they don't buy, if they don't join, if they don't post, I'm done, and you walk away, or you think you're really good, and you've talked to them twice. That's the normal. That's average. How many times are you going to have communications with somebody? Normally 6 to 12 times over the course of a year. And it's normally not until you get past the 8th time before you're going to start seeing a true result of that. Now, these are not contacts of you going up to somebody, do you want to join? Do you want to join? I've got the best opportunity in the entire world. It's only $99 to start. It's only to, 20 to 30% of what you're going to start off in your basic commission. You're going to make 2 to 7% of the commission down here. Now, what kind of sales pitch is that? If I gave that to you once, or I post on Facebook, and I go, I'm sending in an order, do you want to add on to my order this month? Get in while the getting's good, right? Those are not the kind of contacts we're talking about. We want relationships to be built. Follow-up power is about developing relationships with people. The key to it is to listen to them. Find out what is important to them. What makes them tick. It's not about you. It's about them. When we're following up, you've got to have a system, a process in place, frankly, so you can remember about them. When you went to your launch party, you knew about the people there because you knew them already. By the time you get 6, 7 generations of parties later, how are you going to remember who's there, what they like, what their kids' names are? I got a lousy memory. I got a cheat. Let me show you what one of my customers did for me. Guys, can we see the Abel Isla video on the bottom, please? I want to show you what one of my customers did to get my attention. Now, this is a guy that we gave some money to help him adopt his
If
little
you take a
girl.
big hug, the big hug. Say, thank you, Miss Shirley, for my pig. Thank you.
We'll see it
If
again.
you take a big hug, the big hug. Say, thank you, Miss Shirley, for my pig. Thank you.
Ava's the little girl that we helped he and his wife adopt. We gave her a Scentsy buddy as a present. This is what he did. Shot it on his cell phone video, emailed it to me. That was 3 years ago. Makes me tear up every time I see that video. Because I know what it means. It's something that touched me. It resonated back with me. And it's those simple things of when you build a relationship with your follow-up, with your contacts with people, that you can make a relationship. This business is not about sales. And we call it direct sales. Frankly, I don't like that terminology. We call it network marketing. That sounds a little too highfalutin to me. You know what I like? I like relationship marketing. That's what we do. We build relationships. And you've got to find a way to cultivate relationships from the person in line behind you at the grocery store. From somebody you run into, when they talk about setting your testers up at the volleyball tournament and everybody doing a $300 party right there. Now, what are you going to do from that to follow up with those people later? How are you going to do that? The first thing you've got to do is you've got to know what makes them tick. This is Poof, the Magic Dragon. You want to know about their passions. You want to know about their outside activities, their hobbies. What do they like? You want to know what their job is, right? That's an easy conversation starter. And you want to know about their family. I heard this idea earlier from a lady and it really resonated with me. What does she do to market her business? She sent cards. It wasn't just to the person she met, to the hostess, to the customer. She sent cards for their family's birthdays. If you want to stand out of the crowd, right, just about 180,000 active consultants these days, somewhere in that ballpark. If you want to stand out in that crowd, how do you do it? If I send you a birthday card, that's great. What if I send you a birthday card for your husband's birthday? Now you know I paid attention to you. You know that to me, you matter. What if I know you're interested in aviation? You fly a plane. And I see an article in the newspaper about that plane. I clip it and I send it to you. When I was a kid, people actually did that type of thing. They'd send articles to my mother. They saw me in the high school in the newspaper. We don't do that anymore, hardly. When you do that, it shows you care. What kind of information do we want to collect from people? Obviously, we want their contact information. Emails are super critical to collect. Mobile cell phone numbers, super critical to collect. Because when we talk about how to mass market email, how to mass market to people, it's easy to send 20 cards. Try sending 2,000 cards. That's a much more daunting task. For emails, it's easier to do on a more frequent basis. We want to know information to grow our business. So we want to track what is their favorite scent? What warmers do they like? What buddies do they like? Do they like layers products? What about your business do they like? And we want to know detailed information about them. How are we going to do this? We're going to cheat. We're going to collect it. We're going to track it. This is what we want to know when we go to a party. I have a sign-in sheet at every party. It's like a wedding book guest list. They sign in. You know, the other thing we do, we like to send out and have them all pre-fill out an order form. Put their name, rank, serial number, email, and cell phone on the order form. Sets the stage that maybe we want them to buy something, but I've collected their information, whether they bought anything or not. It's like Crystal Riddle said. She went to the first little party, the basket party, $30 too much, don't want it. You know, what would have been nice is if her aunt would have, now her aunt had her contact information, I would assume. But no follow-up in the meantime. If Crystal hadn't seen it later and called her aunt, what if Crystal would have called the lady in her building that had the party that she actually smelled and enjoyed and liked? You know the part of Crystal's story that surprised me? That she signed back up with her aunt and didn't sign up with the other lady. That's the part that surprised me because there was no follow-up in the meantime. Okay? You know, there's lots of little ways you can do this. You know how I like to cheat? I like to use my cell phone. This is real simple. When I run into somebody, I put their contact information in my cell phone. Next to their name, I'll put prospect, lead, Scentsy consultant, Grace Adele consultant, hostess potential, whatever trips my trigger to recognize their name. When they call me or I call them, guess what pops up? Their information. Tells me who they are. Put in what we talked about last. They ordered light bulbs. If they ordered a particular scent, put that in. Hey, how are you enjoying that scent? They go, oh, I'm out of that. I need some more. Bing, bing, bing. There's another sale. I cheat. I use my phone. It's real simple, real easy to do. You meet somebody, ask them for a Facebook friend request. Send them the friend request. You can do it right in front of them. Boom, here it is. Do it right now. Now, you know all about them. You can look them up on Facebook. You can communicate with them immediately. Some of that is generational. People under 30 use Facebook a lot more than people over 30. My 17-year-old daughter uses Facebook like there's no tomorrow. Facebook is even too passé. Now we're on to Instagram, Snapchat. You know, find ways to communicate with the people that you're communicating with. You know, the next one is, how many times you hand out a business card? All the time. You hand out your business card, you get nothing in return. You're now waiting for them to call you. You know, when we're trying to find Amy and she left a business card for the waiter, what if she'd gotten the waiter's contact information? And she could call the waiter back. Dropping a business card is great. Getting a business card is better. What happens if you don't have business cards? Perfect. It's a great excuse. I'm sorry, I'm out of cards. I just gave my last one out yesterday. Can I get your contact information and put it in my phone and I will send you mine? It's great. It's a perfect excuse to get their information. That's what you want. There's information on the resources, on the Scentsy store that will help you. These are binder inserts you can put in. Gives you places to write down and track for hostesses and for customers. How do you manage all this information? You've got to get organized. You can use your workstations in the Contacts tab, and you can put down how to reach them, their email, phone numbers, etc. Does have a limitation. You can put notes in the section about their favorite scent and their hobbies and outside interests, but you can't sort that information later. You can't retrieve it later unless you pull up their individual name. Okay? You can use a party plan, you can use a daytime planner. I personally like an Excel spreadsheet. Some people are intimidated by Excel, I like Excel. And it gives me the creativity to do a lot. This is what my spreadsheets look like. That way, I hope you guys can see it. I'm tracking their name, address, I get down here at the end, where we met, what they like, and when I go in and I want to know what scent has been discontinued in February, imagine that. I can click that little arrow, it sorts them by alphabetical for me. I look at them, and bada bing, I can contact that customer right there. Your favorite scent's going bye-bye. I've got a great recommendation for a replacement. Your favorite scent's going bye-bye. Do you want to stock up now? Or, you like this scent, I know what other scents will go along with that. And I can do the same thing for my hostesses. How much they spent at their last party, how much their hostess rewards were. When I'm talking to them later on the phone from my house, I pull this information up before I make the phone call. I sound like a genius. I sound like I know everything about them. Sometimes I heard it earlier today that, what was the S word, stalker? Yeah, that's me. But that's because I cheat. I track it. When should you communicate with people? You should do it within 24 to 48 hours of having the communication with them. When you meet them in the store in line, when you're talking to Amy, the waitress, 24 to 48 hours. Don't let them forget who you are. You can do it from the parking lot. It's okay. But contact them immediately. You should follow up with all of your party guests. 24 to 48 hours. Love seeing you at the party. Had so much fun. Whether they bought or even if they didn't. Contact them. Communicate with them. Stay in their minds. The second number 2 there is what I really like. When you're dropping off, this is one I think everybody misses. When you get your product in, what do? You give it to them, right? Spend 5 or 10 minutes getting to know them. How much better lead prospect could you have? Somebody you've met, somebody that's bought from you, somebody that likes your product, somebody that's buying your product. Boy, if you tried to market and said, this is what I want, who likes me, loves me, buys, that's a great list. Don't drop and go. Build that relationship with them. A week after, follow up. Hey, is everything okay? Did you like it? How are you enjoying your product? You're not saying, do you want to buy? You're just touching. You're just reaching out and making a contact with them. Staying in their mind. 30 days after, I'm going to call them again. Still enjoying the product? Absolutely. Guess what happens after 30 days? What happens after 30 days? Shout it out. You guys know.
They ran out.
They ran out. They're ready for some more. Now I'm not waiting for them to call the next 188,000 person to buy more. I'm right there. I'm ready to do it. Network marketing studies will tell you 60% of your customers will buy from anybody. Even those that say they are satisfied or very satisfied with you as their consultant. And that's not Scentsy specific, that's it, network marketing in general. What does that mean? That means they're going to buy when they're ready. When I'm doing a show or event, I sell to people that are going to parties that night. I sell to people whose mom's a consultant, whose sister a consultant. Why? It's because they like me better than their mother? I'm not that good looking. It's because I'm there and I've got the product ready to go. Now, what are you going to do once you've tracked this information and you've collected it? How are you going to use it? You've got to schedule it in. How are you going to keep track of all these time deadlines? You've got to put it on a calendar. Put it in your phone. Your phone has an application for dates, right? Go 30 days out. Put a reminder in right there. I'm going to call Amy. I'm going to follow up with her. Put it in right there. What happens when I call Amy? Her contact information is going to show up. It's going to remind me what we talked about. And I've got it all done right there and I'm ready to go. What do I want to talk to Amy about? Whatever's communicated to her, what's unique to her. And of course I can do the warmer of the month, the scent of the month, 10% transitions, whatever sale we've got going on, we can do all of that. Okay? It's easy to do right then. How am I going to communicate? I can use emails, text, I can do notes, Facebook shout-outs I love. Have a party, go home, put a shout-out to the hostess, tell the world how much free product she got. Tell all of her friends how much free product she got. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to track it with emails. You can use paid services. I personally love Constant Contact. It allows me to use hyperlinks. I can send volumes of information. And I don't get worded out by having the size of my emails too long. You can use conference calls, webinars. There's even an application for iPhones. If you just type in Hostess Coaching, it will give you an app and you can track all this all at once. This is easy. This is not rocket science. Low tech is great. Use a recipe box. Use an index card right there. Write the scent name on top. Write all your customer names right underneath it who like that favorite scent. Now you got to go back and look up their contact information from some other source. That's why I like Excel, it's all in one place. The wrist bangles, you're going to follow up, put 10 bangles on one wrist. You got to make 10 calls. Every time you make a call, switch it to the next wrist. Simple, easy. You can use rubber bands. It's easy to do. Send them a note card. In this family store, you've got cards already, thank yous already ready to go. You can go buy cards anywhere. But you've got to be consistent. What do you say if I haven't done this? Guess where all this information is? It's on your old customer order forms. You know, the ones Scentsy told you to keep for all those years that you wondered why? And you thought, well, maybe it's for taxes, or maybe it's for compliance. I'm going to show you a way to make money for holding all that information. Set it. How do you eat the elephant of taking a big stack of order forms and doing it? The answer is one bite at a time. Set aside 10 minutes a day and start creating your list. Here's what I want you to do when you go home. I want you to organize your phone. I want you to go through your contacts, and I just want you to start right now going to this person I've talked to about Scentsy, this person I should talk to about Scentsy. The 3 names that you wrote down earlier in the general session, they're going to be on there. This is a person I met at ball fields. This is a person I met in the grocery store. Wherever you know them from, start putting that information in your phone now. I want you to look at some of the technology, and I want you to create a database. And what I want you to do is for the next 2 months, I want you to schedule 10 minutes every time you can. Take 10 minutes shorter on your lunch to do this information. Don't watch that TV show for 10 minutes. Skip between 2 commercials. Real simple to do it, but do it consistently, do it religiously. Because I guarantee you this, if you don't follow up, somebody else will make your fortune. And I will follow up with your customers. If they see me at a show, if they see me at an event, and I get their contact information, I will follow up. What is the most valuable piece of real estate at a show? What's the most valuable piece of space in your entire building?
Your booth.
Yell it out.
Your booth.
Your booth? What part of your booth is the most valuable?
You.
You? That's a good start. What's the most valuable?
Inside.
Do what?
Inside.
The inside of your booth?
Hey, you gotta get them inside.
You gotta get them inside the booth. I actually like using a table on the outside. Expands my booth because I use the aisle as the extra extension in my booth. It's the ballot box. It's your drawing box. Why do I think that's the most valuable piece of real estate in your booth?
That's your
Because I'm getting how to make money after I leave. I'm gonna give away something, I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna kiss a lot of frogs when I do that. A lot of people are gonna come by and they're gonna enter my drawing and they don't really care. Some people are gonna check all those little boxes. Yes, I wanna join. Yes, I wanna host. Yes, I want parties in my office. Because I think that's gonna help them win the drawing. That's gonna happen. But I'm also gonna get leads, and this is gonna take a long time. You know, we do a lot of fairs and events, but we do several major state fairs. Last August, do this, and I'm sending this email out to, you know, and I've had half a dozen contacts with people, of everybody that said, I'm interested in joining. Everybody that I gave a recruiting packet to at the fair. And I'm not getting much luck with some of these people. I'm not even hearing back from them. You know, about 70% of the people, that was kind of weird this year, because normally I have a much higher return rate than that. I'm thinking, so I sent a final email out to everybody. Hey, we're going to be in your neck of the woods doing a show. Come out and see us. So here it is from August to now. Suddenly I get a phone call from this lady. Goes, you know, I do want to come out. I want to join. Do you have room in your booth that I can work at and you can train me while I'm there? It's a long-range process, but you've got to do this consistently and religiously. You know, and I love using the technology for it. Now, I've started my customer list over twice. It's got 4,000 people. That's an awful hard time to make a lot of personal phone calls. If I hadn't started my list early and been diligent about it, I can't imagine the number of sales that I would lose and the number of potential recruits I would lose because I couldn't contact them. I knew the people at the very beginning. I knew the people at the launch party. But I don't know for myself. And I got to cheat to remember how. What questions do you guys have? I know I can't answer all your questions. We started this off me asking you, who wants to make $100,000 in a month? Anybody else think they can make $100,000 in a month? How about $1,000? Who can make $1,000 in a month every month? Yes, ma'am.
I can.
You can, yes you can. Not just in November. Who wants to make $1,000 every June? Why do I say that? Because that's always the lowest level. $10,000 every June. You've got to build your business. All right? Did I say anything that was confusing? Say anything you guys got follow-up questions about? Yes, ma'am.
My favorite part of what you said was get their business card, because we were walking on Main Street a while ago, and a guy in a shop saw my Scentsy shirt and asked why we were here. He said, well, what is Scentsy? And I told him, but I should have said, can I have your contact information? I'll send you a catalog or whatever, you know. I mean,
Whatever system you're going to use, whatever fits with you. If you don't know the address, man, I wrote the most beautiful love letter in the entire world to the most beautiful woman in the entire world, and I didn't know where to send it to. Do you think we're getting married? That's probably not going to happen. Step one, got to get her number. Now, how do you like them apples? Thank you, guys. We got a few minutes, so if you guys got questions, shout them out, tell me.
Well, what was number 5 of your action?
Oh, I forgot to tell you the most important part. I forgot to tell you the most important part of all. I told you I'd cheat, right? So we've created a Facebook group. If you on Facebook, write this part down. It's the only part you're going to have to write down. If you go to Hot Springs Spring Sprint Unofficial, you will find a Facebook group. On it, in the file section, right under the pictures of who all's visited the page, if you go in there, you will find the presentation. And you can download it and share it, print it, just make it easy. Hot Springs Spring Sprint Unofficial. Since he's got an official version, some of you probably registered that you were attending the event. It wouldn't let me add files into it, so I had to create it. As a small hint, some of the other presenters might do that too. Since I have my wife's Facebook password, she might put hers in there too. That might happen. Guys, this is not hard. It's not hard to do, but it does take dedication to do it. You have to make it, you have to do it all the time. And that's the hard part. Yes, ma'am?
What do you say about that drawing? Is that at a party? Is that have a drawing?
Sure. I use a drawing box at an event. When I'm at a party, I'm collecting their information by having them pre-sign out the order forms, pre-fill out the top of them, or I'm doing like a wedding book, guest book sign-in. You know, I want their name, phone number, and email. That's mostly what I want.
That's at a party, right?
At a party, at a show or an event, that's where I use a drawing box. Now guys, you can create your own leads too, right? What if you took a warmer and a drawing box to a business, to a convenience store, and you said, let them say, hey, I'm doing a drawing, and now suddenly you're collecting information, leads from everybody that goes to that convenience store. For any business, right? I go to whatever, you know, my philosophy is if I do business with you, I want you to do business with me. So, you know, my dry cleaners has one, my bank has one. You know, wherever I'm doing business, I've got a relationship and I can talk to them, and I want them to build that relationship back for me. And I want to get their customer information. I'll offer something. I'll make your business smell good if you'll let me put this in your business. And that's all I'm doing. Pretty simple. No questions, guys? I know I'm not that good.
You're that good.
Is that my 1 minute sign? Yeah, we're up. Guys, I appreciate, oh, I do have, okay, that's good. That's good. Any other questions on the Facebook page? You know, you can post comments, you can ask questions, and we'll monitor from there. Send me a friend request, and you know, I'll answer any questions you have over time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Since you do events, we do part of events.